What's up, headbangers? It's time for another episode of Heavy Metal 101 Reviews. And we got a special episode today. We have a special guest. Say hello to our friend Marc. And Marc has some of his own music that he's going to share with us. And we're going to check it out and give it a listen. So the name of the project is, I'm going to let you pronounce it, Marc, because go ahead. Eisige Venen?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. So where does that name come from?
It came from World of Warcraft. So there's a mage spell called Eisige Veins. And I thought it would be cool it's basically a direct German translation of that spell.
Okay.
But if you were to play World of Warcraft in Germany, I don't think the spell is actually called that. So it's just a direct English translation, so it probably doesn't make much sense in German, to be honest.
Okay. So what kind of music do you play? What kind of style, and what bands influenced you, or what influences you? Not necessarily just bands.
Well, I mean, growing up, I was inspired by a lot of black metal bands, Emperor, Dark Funeral, Cradle of Filth, even, which is arguable whether they're actually black metal or not. But a lot of that stuff. And basically, I had this vision of wanting to add more synthesizers to things. And then I found this band, Luster, which I believe is out of Sweden. And they weren't afraid to use a lot of synthesizers and stuff in the black metal. So once I heard them, I kind of went forward with the project that I'm working on now.
Okay, that's cool. See, I was pretty ignorant about the whole process of people making music and stuff. So Marc was nice enough to send me a link to a documentary. Was it called One Man Metal? I think it's called.
Yeah, One Man Metal. One
Man Metal, yeah, and I watched that, and that's pretty interesting, pretty cool. Also, I want to say that an independent film is picking up your music and for the soundtrack, or what's up with that?
Yeah, so a guy reached out to me. His name is Neil Gortz, and he had wrote and directed a movie called The Sorrow. And it's based on an old German folktale. And yeah, he just asked, hey, can I use one of your songs? And I was, of course, please do, and I have another project which is strictly instrumental called Exoplanet. And he used two of those songs and then one from Eisige Venen.
That's super cool. That's really awesome. So where can people find your music? Tell us where we can look it up.
You can find it on Bandcamp. I have chosen not to put it on any other streaming services at the time being. So Bandcamp, and then YouTube, I have the lyric video up. Okay.
Awesome. We'll definitely leave links below so people can check it out. So let's check out the song. What's the name of the song that we're listening to today?
This is a Frigid Emptiness.
A Frigid Emptiness. All right. All right. Well, Chris, what do you think?
I really enjoyed that. I heard a lot of familiar sounds in that. I'm interested in that movie you talked about, The Sorrow. So I needed you to tell me a little bit more about that when we're done with this. But I'd say right off the bat, it had a typo negative world coming down feel to it. I don't know if that's one of your inspirations, but I heard that. As far as the synthesizers, V&V Nation came to mind, which is one of my favorites, and Satyricon, Dark Medieval Times. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if any of those are inspirations of yours, but that's kind of what I heard.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I actually know who all those people are. I wouldn't go as far. In fact, probably the most Satyricon I've heard is the song Mother North. So I never really delved too much into them. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think you would like the Dark Medieval Times. It was one of the early ones. It's hard to find in physical media. When I got it, I had to get it imported from England. That's kind of the unfortunate nature of black metal, is it's not easy to come by, and the gatekeepers are vicious. So I completely understand what you're saying when you say if Cradle of Filth is black metal. No, I don't know.
Black metal feed. They're like Taco Bell to Mexican food.
Yeah. Yeah, really produced, like I said, the gatekeepers. It doesn't sound like it was recorded in a toilet bowl, and you can actually differentiate one thing from something else, and it doesn't sound like it's all mushed together and recorded with one microphone.
Yeah, I liked it too. I thought it was pretty chill. That's to me. I think I have listened to this before. I think Mark shared this before, and I did listen to it. It sounded familiar, and I just remember it being relaxing, and like a lot more relaxing than I expected it to be. So I think that's pretty cool about it. Yeah, like Chris is a lot more familiar with black metal than I am. I'm not super familiar with it. This is part of the journey that we're on. So I'm getting used to it, and I'm learning. So I think it's pretty cool. I definitely want to listen to more stuff, and even check out your other project as well.
Yeah, what was the name of the other project?
Exoplanet.
Exoplanet. Cool.
Yeah, I knew there's another guy from Michigan, and I'm trying to remember what the name of his band is. But if you look up the song "Wicked Game," it's the Chris Isaak song,
right?
And it's I think it's called "Wicked Game Doom and Gloom Mix." But like you, he's a one man band. He actually did open for Typo Negative back in the I want to say the early 2000s. Really good musician. But he takes Wicked Game and turns it into like a Typo Negative sound. It's pretty sweet. I would say, because he had told me this was black metal, so I was expecting tremolo picking. You didn't do any of that. I'm just kind of curious as to, is that not your style, or?
Not for this particular song. So there are other tracks that have the multi-string tremolo picking and stuff like that, blast beats. But this particular song that I made the lyric video for did not have it. It didn't work out that way for this one. So
okay, because when I listen to stuff, I always kind of think about what take I would put on it, and there were so many things that I would love to do with this. So I was really excited. But what was your inspiration behind the song and the lyrics?
So, like a lot of people, we all deal with depression or anxiety. At times, some of us, whether it be clinical or just momentary lapses. I just felt that it was best to get those thoughts out, which, if I'm being honest, the lyrics are fairly negative, but it wasn't like to encourage those negative thoughts. It was to let those negative thoughts out into music. And whereas, if someone else listens to it, maybe they would think like, well, you know what, I'm not alone in these thoughts in this world. It actually to me, I find it comforting, to know that, I'm not the only one. A lot of people have these thoughts, and we have a couple of choices to do. We can either act on these thoughts and make mistakes, or we can move forward, and know that we're not alone.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, and I agree with you 1,000%. And that's probably why I'm such a big Typo Negative fan. It got me through some really dark times because, you listen to Peter Steele's lyrics, and it's like, yeah, life's pretty bad right now, but it could be a whole lot worse. At least I'm not going through that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did find comfort and security in that music. So no, I kind of wondered if that's where, your inspiration came from. But I appreciate stuff like that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and like in that it's kind of making me think about that documentary again, the One Man Metal, and those guys, I think they featured three gentlemen, and I think they're kind of maybe extreme examples, but it really shows isolationism and how disconnected people can feel from the rest of the world.
Yeah. Sure.
Which, like you said, it's a common, everybody feels it to some extent, at some point in their lives. So it's really cool that you are able to express it in this way.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about that, like being able to do that. And I hope, if somebody listens to it, maybe they'll say, like I was saying, at least I'm not alone. There's this other guy out there, in his bedroom making this music, and we get through it, and keep moving forward.
All right. What do you use to record? What programs? How do you hook it up? Because I'm being in the military, I learned a long time ago that I was going to be in this thing by myself. It ended up with me using FL Studio and doing more trance type stuff because I just didn't have the means to do guitar and all that. But for somebody that's interested in doing a solo project, how would they go about that?
Well, if you're just going to do a solo project, especially if you already own the guitar and the bass and a microphone and all that, I just used a PreSonus. I think it was a audio box, PreSonus audio box, and I used the PreSonus DAW that they offer called Studio One, and you can pay, I think, I wanted to say it was like 50 or 60 bucks, but it's lifetime updates. So I switched over to that from Cubase, and I love it. And yeah, and all of the synthesizers and stuff, I just use a MIDI keyboard for all of that. So everything is, and then my drums, I don't play drums. So those are all programs from Easy Drummer. Drum Kit from Hell is what it's called.
There's nothing wrong with that. I hate to bring it up again. Typo Negative. Apparently, I don't think Johnny Kelly ever played live drums on a studio album, except for maybe Dead Again. That was something I learned from reading the biography of Peter Steele, is that was all synth drums, everything from I want to say Bloody Kisses all the way up through World Coming Down.
Mortician's pretty famous for only using a drum machine.
God, I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't think it's humanly possible to play that. If it's the same band I'm thinking of, to play that fast, or I might be thinking Agoraphobic Nosebleed. I don't know if you ever heard them.
I have, yeah. Old Relapse bands from the 2000s.
Like 30-second songs of just this disgusting blast beats and noise.
That's pretty much Mortician. They have like a minute and a half sample from a horror movie, and then 30 seconds of something,
Noise.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we go, is there anything else you want to add or say, Mark?
Just appreciate you guys having me on the show. It's an honor, honestly. I really appreciate it. And if anybody wants, the Sorrow will be premiering at the end of this month. I believe on the 30th, it will be premiering on YouTube as a 4-part. They switched it from a feature film, to a 4-part miniseries. So just follow the Sorrow on YouTube, and the first part will come out on the 30th, I believe.
Awesome. All right, guys. I'm gonna leave some links below. Let us know what you think. And we'll get you a place where you can get a hold of some of Marc's music. I really appreciate everybody who watches. Rock on, guys.